Finally. Hey, y'all. Welcome. So, okay, right. We've been trying for like the last, what time is it? 50 minutes to get this to work. We finally got it. Lord have mercy.
Hey,
No,
listen,
it's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's the technology was messing with us.
it's all good. It's highly anticipated.
Highly anticipated. Okay, so let's just get it popping. It's Coco After Dark, y'all. And we are here with Shavonda Brown. And she is an awesome, amazing woman, y'all. Mother of two, rapper, actress, community activist. What else you got going on?
You know, I'm an actress, spoken word artist. Yeah. Consider
Everything.
myself more of an organizer than activist, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Love it.
all that, all those things.
Awesome. So, well, let's just get started.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's Coco After Dark, and we are bringing you guys live interviews from artists in the community, all types, artists of all genres. The visual arts. We got Shavonda. You bring a bunch of art yourself,
Mhm.
and we just we're exploring the arts in our community. And tonight we're here with Shavonda Brown. And Shavonda, just to get us started, why don't you tell us what you did? What First of all, what time did you get the kids in bed, and what do you usually do? What's the first thing you do after you get the kids in the bed?
Wow. The first thing I do, what time did I get the kids down in bed? It was like 9. Yeah, I was 9. It was around 9, 9-ish. And the first thing I do is, walk out of their room, start turning off lights in the house as I walk to my room, and I just sit. I'm
Just sit and
just like,
relax.
just let me
Woosah.
relax. Woosah. Absolutely. You need that time, that relaxation. It's like, okay, y'all are done. I can just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
decompress, relax, relate, release.
Now, on
So,
those nights that you get to relax, relate, and release, and you actually have the energy to get into something, what's something that you're gonna do?
ooh, that have time to get into something and like
And
go
the
out.
energy, yeah. You go out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if you're like on one of those nights where I get to like do my thing. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like for instance, sometimes when I get my kids to bed, when I have the energy to do something else, I usually take down a task that I needed to get done. Could
Hmm.
be cleaning, could be
Oh,
working on a piece of artwork. This piece of artwork back here, I've been working on for a minute now. It's still not finished,
okay.
because I just get those sporadic moments to kind of do what I can do. So what do you typically do when you get that free moment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I watched one of my favorite episodes of something. This Is
Hmm.
Us has been my jam, which it just ended. So I'll be like watching that, or I'll be writing. There's never a time to not write. So I'll take that time to write. Might talk to somebody on the phone, just
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
do that whole thing. You know, take my spiritual baths, take time to do that, and yeah, there's always cleaning to be done. Laundry is always
Okay, whatever you feel
it's
like doing
always
at the moment.
laundry to be done. So getting
Mhm.
that together, but yeah, those are the
So
things that I do.
that's what's up. Um, what what projects are you working on right now?
Oh yeah. So that's really great. Yeah. Actually, I am currently working on a public art piece. I've been selected and commissioned to write 2 short poems in honor of Hussein Sumatar, who was the founder of the African Development Community Center over
Where's it
South.
at? Over south?
It's
Okay.
so it's over South, and he passed away in 20, I think it was 2012, 2014. And
Mhm.
so there are five poets who are writing pieces, and there are two sculptors who are creating a piece that our work will be um, carved into,
Mhm.
and will live in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood is one of the locations, and then another location over south as well. So I'm
Okay.
really excited about that actually. I'm
And
like,
did,
this is something that's gonna live, beyond me, beyond us. I think,
congratulations. That's
right?
awesome.
It is
What
awesome. I'm just like, also, it makes me think like ancestors and like carving things in the stone and, you know,
absolutely.
the
It's your
temple.
legacy.
It is like a huge legacy, an item that gets to like live on in that way. Metal, wood, all those things that we create, they have a life um, that extends beyond us, and I think it's really a special project to be a part of.
How did you get invited to participate in that?
Ifra Mansour reached out to me and let me know, um, and asked if I was interested and available to do it. And
Okay.
I, of course, said yes. This is awesome. This is incredible. I would love to honor this ancestor. And yeah, I just jumped right in.
Okay. So I just want to give everybody a little bit of background about who you are and how you got into what you're doing now,
Hmm.
because I know to somebody watching, we're sisters. We met a while ago, so we know
Yeah.
where we're at. But let's kind of bring everybody in. Where are you from, and how long have you been here?
Wow. So I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I came to Minnesota to attend the Guthrie Theater Actor Training Program, which happens in collaboration with the University of Minnesota. So we get our degree, we go through all of our, academic classes, basics, theater basic classes at the U of M, and like all of the professionals, at the Guthrie, the who would be your voice um, coach for a show, or like the head of dance and the dramaturg there. Those were all of my teachers. And after that, I stayed because I just made this incredible, family with folks in Minnesota, made all these connections. I thought it would be wise to stay here and
Hmm.
utilize those resources. And so actually, Pillsbury House Theater was like my first stop. Before I even graduated, we had a senior project. And so I was like, oh, I heard about Naked Stages, some of the different programming that they have where they allow artists to come and create. And so I was like, I want to be involved. And I talked to Faye Price, who was the then artistic director of Pillsbury House Theater, who has now moved on from that, but was recently celebrated as a distinguished artist with
Hmm.
McKnight, like just this like past week, which I think is really
Shout out
awesome.
to her. Congratulations.
Big shout out to Faye Price, a mentor to many. Um, but yeah, so I reached out there and just built, a relationship and continued. Lou Bellamy actually at Penumbra Theater gave me my first job coming right out of right. I was still in my senior year actually. I wasn't even done. I was in my last semester of my senior year, and I was in rehearsals for the Amen Corner at the
Okay.
Guthrie. And so just relationships like those with different theaters and different folks like Shay Cage and E.G. Bailey really kept me here, and I, you know, had a had my own spiritual family and my, just my your chosen family basically. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that kept me here.
okay, well,
And
that's
then I
what's
had an
up.
actual family.
Oh,
I met a
right.
man, got married, had two children, all of that. Um, no longer with the man, but we share these beautiful children with each other. And so, and they have family here from his side, so
Okay.
that keeps me here.
I just want to give you a shout out, a single mother doing all of this, making this happen. That's
Yeah.
truly amazing. I stand with you, and it can be very difficult to do all that you're doing with children because you have to find childcare, you have to, you know, be on time to where you're going. I mean, for instance, like we were gonna do this together tonight, but then it was like, I don't want to bring the kids, and you had to make a decision. But see, we make it happen however we got to make it happen. So I just want to commend you and um, just encourage you to keep on going with what you're doing because, like, I see everything that you're working on out here, and I definitely want to get into some more of what you got going on because you're doing some phenomenal things. Okay, so where are we at? You moved up here from Dallas, Texas. You
Mm-hmm.
got involved with Penumbra and with
Pillsbury
the
House
university.
Theater.
Okay, and so what are you? Did you just finish a show?
I did just finish a show. So I was in a musical called Memphis at the Bloomington Center for Arts, and that was the first theater production that I've done since my
Mhm.
son was like 6 months old. So
Oh
yeah,
wow! And how old
right?
is your son now?
He's 6 years old.
Oh, he's 6 years old, and you since he was 6 months, you haven't done anything since he was 6 months. Is that what you
Right.
just said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, in that period between him being 6 months old and you deciding to start back and to get into your craft, what was kind of the deciding factor to make you go ahead and get back on the path that you initially set out to come out to Minnesota for?
Well, yeah. Well, I was pulled back into it. I haven't been on auditions or anything like that. But someone who I know who is, working on the show in a leadership role reached out to me and was just like, "Hey, come audition for the show. You'd be great in the show. Like, come do this." And I was like, "Okay," like begrudgingly was just like, "Okay, let me check this out. Let me see," and just not really um trying to do it at all, but I was like, okay, well, let me give it a chance. Let me send in my stuff for this audition really quick, and um did that and got a call back, and was asked to be a part of the show. And I thought, okay, well, let's like just get into the swing of that, and you know um just kind of get back to it a little bit, and see what this feels like, and just be in this world, um, for a little bit. And it was really therapeutic, really fulfilling to be in a space that was Black led, Black woman led, um, and centered. So I enjoyed my time. And yeah, it just really felt like a year of a return, to me, which my album is actually. I have an album out, is named for the return. And yeah, it's just me like really getting back to myself as an artist, as a person outside of motherhood. I'm not just a mom, but I also like am an artist, have all these other elements to me as well. And it's just really giving me direction, basically. I'm like, okay, I did that. So how am I feeling?
Okay.
How am I feeling now? What do I want to do next? I do some really amazing work with Pillsbury House. Well, not Pillsbury House, but Pillsbury United Communities, which is a nonprofit, which Pillsbury House Theater is a social enterprise of, as well as KRSM, which I do my show Power Perspectives on. I host with Andrea Pierre, 9.9 FM on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with the replay on
Nice.
KFAI 90.3 on Fridays at 1 p.m. You know, and I really love it. It's about, we talk about policy is what we discuss, which a lot of folks are calling for policy change around these tragedies that we are continuously experiencing. Um, and I believe in that work. I think it's really important. And I think it's really important for us as artists too to be visionaries for a radical new future, and
Hmm.
for folks to also be on the ground and making the internal shift within government to see change as well. And so I think being a community storyteller with Pillsbury United Communities is like right at that nexus of art and policy. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the work and just hoping to continue in doing that kind of a thing. And you know,
Awesome.
keep letting those things meet. You know, I do it. I have my album. I have my, you know, doing it through the music. Out here, outside of that, and having that space to really develop that within a an organization.
Okay. So is your album, is it kind of across I'm not gonna assume what your album is about. Tell us what your
Mhm.
album is about. I want to know, is it like, what was your focus? What's your theme of your album? Give us the details. Let us know about this album.
Okay. So Shavonda, The Return, streaming on all platforms. You can find my music anywhere. You can find Drake's music, Tidal, iTunes, Spotify. You can purchase it on Bandcamp. The album is really about a return to myself. Um, my return to myself as an artist, as a woman. I yeah, I was in this relationship that had a lot of toxic qualities to it, really lost myself
Okay.
within the relationship and everything like that. And
Okay.
so I have been in this process of coming back to who I know myself to be. And I'll say not even coming back, but it's like it's a return to self, but actually it's also a going beyond what I have ever, been capable of doing, because
Hmm.
now it's me with all the
Stepping into
energy
your
I
true
had
self.
before, but now with these two children, which is even more
Hmm.
energy, which takes even more concentration and focus and discipline. So I'm a even more powerful being now than I was before. Whoa, it's like, dang, I was bad
Yes.
before, but now, ah,
Yes.
I'm
Say
even,
it.
I'm beyond that. So, um, yeah, you know.
When did you know that you were coming back into who you really are, and really just kind of receiving and
Mm.
accepting and nourishing who you are?
Listen, come on, ancestors, come on, elements, knocking things
Yes.
over, knocking things down. It's like, pay attention. If you're listening,
Right.
really pay attention to this answer. So really it was about saying enough, like having that moment of being like, okay, um, I am compromising myself here. and I can no longer continue to do that. And just having those boundaries, it was like, okay,
Mhm.
putting those boundaries up so I can be my most healthy self. It's like that's where it began, for me. It's like, okay, this ain't it.
Mhm.
What the old folks were saying with the, all the people, pray for you. Nah. When it just didn't feel right, it didn't sit right in my spirit. I was like, I'm I'm not uh stretching myself in a healthy way. This is not a moment of growth. It's a moment of diminishing of
Mhm.
myself. That's what I was
Okay.
finding what was happening within the relationship. And so I had to, when I finally was like, oh, this is enough, I'm about to disappear if I continue in this pattern, that's when I start to make those steps back towards my highest self, back towards who I know myself to be, living in alignment with what I know my purpose to be. Um, that was the yeah, that's that road to a return, to self.
Okay, that
That
is
was my
in
pathway.
that's what's up.
Mhm.
It takes incredible strength to do that, when you're in a situation that, you know, may not be the most comfortable or may be toxic. It takes amazing strength to find your way out of that and come through on the other side shining as Shavunda. Is that your birth name? Because that name is just, I don't know, it feels so like it's just a name of strength. And I just see that all in you.
Wow, thank you. Yes, it is my birth name. My mother is like the person who gives names within the family. She has named
Oh, okay.
you know, several children. So, yeah.
So you come from a lot of traditions
I
in
would
your
say so.
family?
I mean, that's one of them, I would say. It's a
Okay.
strong one.
I think for me, like, it's been kind of my dad, I named my kids. Like there's not really a person in our family that does the naming. But I know that is, kind of a traditional thing that not a lot of us are still doing. So I think that's awesome too.
Yeah, thank you. And I think, and so a part of it is this. It's not even a thing of like, oh, like there's not a lot of ceremony around it.
Mhm.
And behind it's more of a inner knowing, and like just valuing that inner knowing and knowledge. Because for my children, for instance, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have somebody else of like this particular tradition, like name my children and da 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 da. But my mother had already given my son like a name. And then this person who I asked to like come in and divine, that they came up, the names that they were coming back to me with, one of them was the exact same name that my mother had already given. So I was just like, wow. Um, we be knowing. Like we have.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It is. It really is. And yeah, that just like deepened within me like the value of our ways of being that are just inherent to us,
Mhm.
you know? We don't always have to like have it be exactly as we would hearken like the ancient African tradition of the thing to be. It's like we have carried those things with us. They still live within us and they exist within us. And like this like takes me back to even thinking about Hussein, the brother who started the development center, the economic development center. for African immigrants. He was like, we're connected. African immigrants, African Americans, we are connected, um, and that the immigrant community, just recognizing that they stood on the shoulders of the African American folks who were already here. Um, I think it was really beautiful, and it's just like, absolutely. While there are things for us to like go back and learn, we have to know and trust that we have kept those things within us already and that they still exist. And so there is
Mhm.
um no greater sense of knowing that's like outside of us. It's internal, and to trust that and to value that within ourselves. And yeah, not necessarily look for um it's like, not necessarily look for like the scholarly receipts that other people would ask of us. It's like, that's not us, you
Mhm.
know. We know who we are. So
Right. Kind of. Well, I feel like it takes some grounding and some uh meditation and just kind of some holistic things to kind of get you to that place where you can find out who you are and tap into that inner DNA that we have that says, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is where our passion lies. So what do you do to get to that place, to find your creative center?
ooh, okay, this is a really good question. Because I don't even like necessarily feel like um I have to get grounded. I think there's a way that I try to externally do it, which is, well, let me just surround myself in well, I guess it depends on which art form we're talking about too, because I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about writing is the first thing that comes to my mind. So when I'm writing, I may try to just get myself in that place, talking about just really being in the world of whatever it is that I want to discuss. Um, and then I'll write some things to just get them out. But it's just not, that's not it. It's just for me to
Mm-hmm.
be in the mode of that thing. Um, and then it'll come to me. It'll come to me after those few rough drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just tried to tap into it um, in the way that I have heard Alice Walker speak about what her creative writing process looks like. And it's hearing it and catching it and getting it down on the page. And that's how I've experienced it as well, is that
Mm-hmm.
it'll just come to me and it'll flow. And I just got to capture it and get it down, be listening, get it down. Um, and then it's there, so it's like a stream of consciousness almost is what it, feels like. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, not much forcing of it. It just comes. Whenever I am in that place, that's when the work is at its best. I'll say that most definitely. And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Now, when you get to that place, because when you're an artist and you got to get to that place, what happens like if, say, you're in that place and the kids wake up or something like that? Is it easy for you to get back to that space, or does that take some work for you?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I I believe that that's a really good question. I believe though that once it's there, and that you
Mm-hmm.
can um it's almost like you can ask it to pause and just be like, okay, hold on for a second, and like let me, because sometimes I have to do that when if I don't have a pencil or a paper. I'm like, let me pause this thing that's coming through so I can get what I need to get the utensils that I need in order to get it down. But it still feels like it's on the timetable and the clock is running. It's like you better get it down real quick before you lose it, because I've lost
Right.
brilliant things as well. Um, but yeah, I don't feel like I've experienced them interrupting my flow in that way, where I've had
Mm-hmm.
to um not get something. I'll just like probably just continue, go through it anyway, and be like, I just gonna have to wait until I get this thing out. But yeah, they haven't. And I don't know. Sometimes the babies, they be knowing because they have an intelligence too. Like, I was actually doing a show with Xavier when I was pregnant, and when I was on stage, he wouldn't kick. When I got home or to the condo that they had us staying in, and would go lay down at 11 o'clock at night, he would start kicking. He's
Mm.
like, "You done? Oh, you done? You done with work now?" When is
That's
the
peace.
kid?
I love how you just ask for it. Like, hold on, I'm coming back to it. I like that.
Yes, but when I was on
I'm
stage, there was
learning.
no distraction. Like, he didn't at all, and so I feel like they still on that. They're like, "Oh, you got things, okay." And so yeah, that's what it is for the most part.
That's what's up. I'm gonna try that next time. You know, my processes kind of broke up because I think, words are so powerful. You know what I'm saying? And just to hear you just say, can I'm gonna come right, just to ask, it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, duh, just ask. So I like that.
Mhm.
When So right now you have your album going on, you have the power perspectives. What else are you working on?
Right. So then there's that public art project. So don't forget about that. The
Okay, yes.
poetry. Yep.
When is there gonna be like a event for that?
There will be an event for
Okay,
that.
give us the details.
Oh my God.
Give it up.
I'm gonna have to look that up myself. We're still in the process. Like, we have a meeting coming up where we're gonna talk about that. I think they're doing it during a time that I can't even attend. So
Okay.
um well, this next meeting they're doing it at a time where I can't attend. And but yeah, it will be later on in the when is this happening? In the summertime? Yeah, because we're in May now.
Okay. Are you gonna be performing anywhere? Any of your
Oh, yes.
songs
So
for your album?
actually, oh yeah, so on the 29th, actually, I have a performance. It's a Radical Joy session happening at Hopkins Center for the Arts. It's curated by Joe Davis and the New Renaissance, and I'll be performing. It'll be hosted by Ashley Henderson and Ricky Monique. Yeah, and then Cortland Pickens and the Known Band, and of course, Joe Davis. So yeah,
Shout out to
I
Joe Davis. He's gonna be on here next week.
oh yeah, nice. Yep. So yeah, doing that's like the next show that I'm doing, and yeah, and then every Tuesday and Thursday I'm on KISM 98.9 FM, 9 a.m. to 10. Power perspectives. So check
Okay,
that
I'm gonna
out.
check in here.
Listen to us.
Yeah.
You can listen to us on the radio. You can actually download the app krsmradio.org. You can go to that site. You can download the KRSM radio app and listen to us that way. And we also live stream our show too on Facebook. So If you tap in to the KRSM Radio Facebook page, you'll see the
Okay.
live stream happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can tap in there and watch the video or come back to it and see some of the old interviews that we've done in the past if you go there. So, yeah,
What's
I'm
your most memorable interview?
oh my God, don't ask me that question. Do not ask me that question. I think it's impossible to say. It really is impossible to say. We've had some really good interviews. We've had some really good interviews, and so it's impossible.
Okay.
It is impossible
All
to
right.
choose.
It's all right. I won't make you pick.
Do not make me choose. Yeah. You know what? I'll just name some of the guests that we've had. That's all I can
Okay,
do.
that's good.
I can name some of the guests. But I can't tell you no favorites because I don't have
That's
any.
fair.
I
I
don't
couldn't pick no favorites out of my guests, so I get it.
have we've had some really great interviews. So I just interviewed um Mikhail Sapp, who is doing a show at Pillsbury House Theater that opens
Mhm.
this weekend. It's called Charlie Black. So him and Signe Haraday, who is now the artistic director, right? She came in and replaced Faye Price over at Pillsbury House Theater. She's her predecessor there.
Okay.
Um, and so that was a really great interview that we had. I interviewed this sister who does this Beyonce mass, which was really great. Um, Janae Bates was another really good interview. Um, she's actually a pastor and was also um, doing a campaign for a vote yes on uh, the second charter amendment, to the last election season about the policing, right? And was just trying to get people to really understand that this proposal to shift from the police department as we know it to something that was going to be more holistic approach based with more mental health um, care available um, would be a really positive thing to community. And I was so happy to have her on and to talk about that and to dispel some of the myths around that. People were saying, oh, there's no plan and we don't know how this is going to go. And it's like, we know what's happening right now and what's not working, right? I think
Mhm.
it's really important and imperative to speak to this, especially on the 2-year anniversary of the passing of George Floyd, right? We know that policing as it's happening is not working. And something that I was really disappointed in, I'll say this, is the faith that community had in the past police chief. I think a lot of people voted a certain way based on his positioning within that role, not knowing
Mhm.
that he was going to leave that role and that position, not having um or I'll say not having the foresight to think, okay, he could retire soon. And so then what would that look like? It was too
Mhm.
it was a choice that was made with the thought that this is like one of the main people who's going to be carrying this thing forward and carrying it out, and it's not the case. It's what do we want if there's somebody completely different sitting in this seat to represent
Mhm.
what is it that we truly want as a community. And I don't think more policing is the answer. I think having more a more community based um, approach to things, folks from the neighborhood having just different restrictions around that would be more beneficial.
Mhm.
We see that work in some of the schools where it's like the folks who are working at the schools and those disciplinary positions are folks who are from the community, and so the children have a respect, you know, for these people because they have a relationship and we don't have a really good relationship with you know, uh, with the police department, as a community, as a North Sider, as a African American, you know, it's
Right.
it's not it's not what it could be. I'll say that.
Right. I understand. How did the murder of George Floyd change your art? How did
Hmm.
it affect your art?
Huh. Huh. That's an interesting question. It's a really good question too because that's something I've asked other people actually, you know, just wondering. But also it's like I was already writing with an awareness to the socio-political, economic, you know, climate, uh, of the times, already having that a social conscious awareness to my art form. So police brutality was something I was already talking about, already speaking about, even before Trayvon Martin, even back before, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then where it was like a thing that we knew that happened, but people weren't really talking about it a whole lot like that. So with this, how it changed things, I don't know that it really I guess I'm still trying to uncover what effect that it had um on my writing. I guess the biggest change that it has made is that it just makes me more and more aware of our mortality. And so to be of the mindset that, you know, everything that you put out is really important because who knows when, you know, you get that final curtain, who knows when that's your last of anything. um and so to be really aware of that and to be really mindful of the type of ancestor that you want to be, that's why I'm so excited for the public art piece, because it's a piece that's gonna live beyond, can, you know, can quite honestly like live, you know, it has that capacity um to do that. So I think, yeah, that was the biggest effect or change that it's had to me as an artist. Mhm.
So, do you have a roadmap, so to speak, that you're following? Because I know that you're very much into building community legacy. And one of the things that I like to talk about is building generational wealth and doing it using your craft that you've been blessed with.
Mhm.
And, you know, as an artist myself, I often, when I'm creating my roadmap to try to figure out how I'm going to use my gifts as a source of generational wealth, what do you have, like, what's your roadmap to achieve that? Do you have one?
Wow. That's a good question. That's like a really good question. I like that question a lot.
Okay,
I'm,
get it.
yeah, I'm trying to, for myself, I'm trying to, I'm not even gonna say try, I'm committed to leaving a legacy and just really hitting it at all of the angles that I can, first by like following what I know my path is, what my calling is, answering the call. That's the biggest thing that I think that I can do towards leaving a legacy, is to say, is to trust myself and to say it's so important to listen to yourself, trust your inner knowing, and to follow that. So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm living in to the fullest. I'm like, have no fear. because what is yours and nobody can take that away. Follow that path and it will make a way
Absolutely.
for you. There's nothing else that you can do. Like you are you setting yourself up for failure when you go against that. Quite simply, for
Period.
me, it's life or death. If you know, listening to that intuition and being in tune and tapped in that way. And so it's a legacy of higher knowing, allowing the divine to come in that way. It's spiritual, you know, it's spiritual. And my like one of my babies was said the other day, she said, and I put it on Facebook too. She said, "My sacred tools are invisible." So it's like having those tools, um,
Mm-hmm.
and being in tune, and those ways, and how you can like tap into the elements in the natural world, in order to create the environment needed and necessary for, you know, the attraction of the things that it is that you need to take place. Having that awareness, listening to your inner knowing, following that, being guided by that, being really strategic with the money, having a really thorough relationship, you know, with the money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so leaving that legacy too. I'm like, we're gonna do it all. We're gonna be holistic over here about what a
Right.
legacy looks like. Being intentional about it. Leaving a legacy of love. It's like I'm raising children to be activated, um, with both sides of their minds going artistically, creatively, and um, logically, business, you know, minded and analytical, all of those things. So yeah, and to
Absolutely.
leave a legacy of love for them to know that they're loved and for them to go out and spread love into the world, into the community, and to just be building upon that as well, because that's the best thing that we can do is to love on our babies and
Mm-hmm.
have them know what a healthy love looks like, so that they're
Yes.
engaging that and activating more of that within community, because we have a lot of the things that distract from that and take away from that. So we gotta be coming with a lot of that to
How old is your daughter?
my daughter's
Sorry.
3.
3? Yeah. Wow. 3 years old. And she said, my tools are invisible. Okay.
My sacred tools are invisible.
My sacred tools are invisible. Lovely. Love that. Love that. So, okay, I just want to, before we get ready to wrap up here, I want you to let everybody know um, all your social media handles
Oh,
and
yeah.
your album, where you can get it. I know you said
Um,
title. Yeah, just give us the
Tidal,
full details. We
Spotify,
want to support
iTunes.
you.
Yeah, so I think everybody can see my name. You just type in my name anywhere and you will find me, Shavunda. My last name is Brown. Type that in. You'll find me. I'm on Instagram as Shavunda Thunder. So Shavunda Thunder, Thunder spelled Thunda, you know, like my name. You can find me on Instagram there. I'm on Facebook, Shavunda Brown. I'm on you know, yeah, I'm on
Facebook,
those things.
Instagram.
I'm on
Yep,
I'm on
Twitter.
Instagram. I'm on probably some other I have a Twitter account, I believe. Um I don't know,
There's so many
I
social
don't really be
medias
on
these days.
these other things. I'm really mostly Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty sure, the Snapchat and all that other stuff, but I'm not really on those things in that way. But yeah, just type in my name, Shavonda, and The
Okay.
Return, and you'll find my album. And I say, listen to that thing. Add that to your playlists. You know, choose your songs. That I have. All kinds of subjects that I'm touching on. I'm talking about. I have a song called "Go Best Friend," and it's just like my village, my community of support, folks who surrounded me. It's just a big shout out to them. Still Love, which was talking about the relationship, and everything like that, and you know how it's important to still have love for that person, but you boundaries around it, right, from
Right.
afar.
Okay.
We want to be healthy. We want to be healthy about it, um for the sake of the children,
Ashe.
waiting, talking about the possibilities of new love, come, a little love song with the
What's
with
your
the
favorite
feature
song?
with the feature from Mike Dose on there. I don't have a favorite song, honestly. It's like you gotta listen to the whole thing all the way through. And actually,
Okay.
I have interludes from really dope artists too. And I feel like that's like my favorite part. Just sharing my music with these people, and then being like, I want you to write something that's gonna be an intro to this song. Kari Jackson is on there. Love Kari so much, so like multifaceted artist, beautiful human being. um did an intro for my song called Hustle, Hustle
Okay.
Grind Align, talking about
Is she
that. Like,
another spoken word artist? Who's Kari? Let's tell us a little bit about Kari.
Kari,
Who's
yeah,
that?
Kari Jackson is a dancer, is a
Okay.
musician, plays bass, upright, and electric, and
Sounds like we need to get her over here.
him.
Oh, him? Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like we need to get him over here.
Absolutely. Janata Petrus Nassau is on there. Actually, so the intro to the whole album is her. And beautiful, beautiful um piece that she had written, from before, that she intros it with, and she's magical. Deja Joel is on there as well. Another amazing human being, healer, dancer extraordinaire. Joe Davis is on there, again. So intros my song, I Want Not. I love that song. That song is like just really knowing that you have everything you need within you to rise to any occasion that comes before you. Is really being in tune with your personal power. So I really love that song for that. Um, yeah, Van Daly is on there. Comedian Van Daly, mama, just another lovely human being. Um, I have a
I'm
song with
excited.
Ashley DeBose called Money, Power, Respect, you know, hip hop ode to the original. But yeah, Money, Power, Respect. Ashley DeBose is on there. Travion Dunlap is on that song as well. Um, singing the chorus. Ashley gets in with she hits us with some bars with that. So it's a
Okay.
it's a real treat. Like, it's amazing. Io, Sister Io Camilla.
Shout out to her. I just did their class,
Oh,
parenting
Parenting through
parenting
white
through
supremacy.
white
Come on.
supremacy. Oh yeah,
It's
I'm
good
telling you. Once I
stuff.
left there, I felt like, oh, a weight had been lifted off my
Wow.
shoulders.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah, that it
powerful.
was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I went through it too. I'm like, that's amazing. Um I interviewed her husband, so Adrian Mack, on Power Perspectives. So yeah, absolutely. They're very what they're doing is really healing for the community. It's
Really
beautiful.
healing.
So we need that. Another, powerful interview that I did. What else? But yeah, Shavonda, Shavonda Thunder, Shavonda the Return. Um,
Power
Yes, Tidal,
Perspectives.
iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
Okay.
You can type it in, you'll find it, and then you can purchase the album on Bandcamp. So just go to bandcamp.com, just / Shavonda the Return. The album will pop up and you can buy it. And they give money directly to artists. So that's what I love about Bandcamp. So you can get it that way, but you can listen to it for free on all those streaming platforms. Add it to
YouTube.
your, find your favorite song, add it to your playlist. It's a 30-minute album, so sit and just take that time and listen to it. It's like an episode of your favorite show. Just give it a listen. So
Yes.
tune in, tap in. Let me know what you
That,
think. Hit me up. Come invite
yeah,
me to perform a show, your thing. I'm down for the most part.
that's what's up. I love it. I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing some of your story with us. Um, like I said, you're a very inspiring woman, strong, spiritual. I just love it. I love your vibes. I love everything about you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything you got going on. Keep on keeping on. You're
Also,
a figure in the community to definitely watch. And I hope all of y'all can find some inspiration from Shavonda because
wow.
she is the thunder. All right, y'all. We signing out. Drop your comments below and hit us up. Check out our DMs if you have questions and you want to know more about everything Shavonda has going on.
Tap
And
in.
we will talk to you later.
Let me
Tap
know. I
in.
respond.
Yes. All right, y'all.